Welcome to another episode of Homebodies from Clothing Humans News. And today we are joined, or tonight rather, whichever, we're joined by one of my favorite people and also one of my fellow Cancerians. Did I
Yeah.
say it right? Cancerians, Chip Moody.
Hello.
What's up, Chip?
Hey, glad to be here. Excited to share some space together.
You are a phenomenal photographer. Could you give us more background on your story and how you got started and where it's led you to in terms of how your work and your craft has been developed?
Yeah, so I think very unromantically, I haven't always been doing photography. It's like I know that I've been an artist my whole life, and so I've always done drawings, done paintings, been very big into mixed media. And that's kind of what I was known for a very long time, even going into high school. It's like I dabbled in everything. It wasn't until very late in high school that I even thought about photography as being a creative outlet for expressing myself. It was just like, oh, photography is kind of a thing. Other people do it, but it's not an expressive means for me. It wasn't until I got to really like undergrad, like art school proper, where I got to really learn that it could be a creative medium. And that's when, stepping into it, I saw that the ideas, the narratives, and the concepts that I was really passionate about expressing could be expressed very well through photography. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine just the other day that it was almost like I didn't have a conversation with myself or my community about it, but there was a time where I essentially just like stopped drawing and painting and I was only doing photography. And it was as if I had broken up with, or lost a relationship that I'd had for the vast majority of my life because something very different came along that was, meeting my needs in a different capacity. So photography didn't come until much later, but it came very hard, very strong, and it's been my primary mode of art making probably for the past 12, 13 years.
That's awesome. I love the work that you do. A lot of it has to do with storytelling in the Black community. And I love that you pick different subjects that you would never see or expect to take these beautiful, gorgeous pictures. And sometimes they're like the simplest thing, like composition wise, but something about it, you connect with it a lot of the time. So that's what I love about your work. Are there any projects currently that you're working on now?
Two projects that I'm working on. One has been a long-term ongoing project called the Brothers Project, which I started writing about it as early as 2015, thinking about or coming to the realization that me being a Chicagoan and from Chicago, I have an opinion about Chicago, but people who are not from Chicago have a very different view of the communities that I grew up in. And coming to find out, doing traveling and watching the news in other places, people view Chicago as a very violent, very dangerous space filled with negativity, and then the vehicles of that violence and negativity are primarily Black male bodies. And that was so disturbing to me because I knew already within the context of, the American narrative that, of course, all Black bodies are charged, all Black bodies are political, and, they all mean something within the space. But to think that like my hometown and the neighborhood that I was born and raised in specifically is known primarily for that sort of negative narrative, it really just blew me away. And so the project started as a way for me to counter that narrative by reaching out to and sharing the stories of people who are already there, who have great relationships, who have always been there, showing that like this hasn't really been a place that's only known for violence, but there have been really great relationships that have happened the entire time.
What's the second project?
The second project, oh yes, I'm super excited about it. And the second project is called the Lovers Project. I'm super passionate about exploring Black humanity and exploring Black humanity on our own terms, things that we know to be true that may not be a part of your stereotype, may not be a part of the outward facing narrative. And so I'm finding people who are Black who love each other, and I'm photographing that relationship. And whether it be, an intense romantic love or a very high level platonic love, I think that thinking of people as lovers and exploring the different relationships that exist within, our collective Black community is important, because we know that it looks different in different scenarios. It's like every couple isn't old. Everybody isn't on their first marriage. Sometimes you got your grandma living with her friend, right? These things we know to be true, we know to be intimate and generous, that are very much a part of our community, very much real, that don't get shown. And we know that the greatest expression of humanity really is love, so when you can see that people love each other, that they're human, that they're people. And I want more stories like that to be told of Black people. And so I'm sharing and making them known from my own practice.
And with that being said, I would love to play a game with you.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. So would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or robot apocalypse?
My goodness. Zombie apocalypse or robot apocalypse? That's a challenging question. I watched The Walking Dead until my guy Glenn died, and it didn't really seem like a great scenario. But iRobot wasn't so much better. I think I'm gonna go with robot apocalypse, just because there may be a way that we survive, kind of like in the Matrix. So, as opposed to Walking Dead, which was really tragic. So I'll say a robot apocalypse, because there might be a way out. Humanity may save itself.
To be shut off. Whereas with zombies, that's like, it seems to be eternal. I mean, Walking Dead has been on for a long time now. And then they have another, like 2 spinoffs. I'm like, geez, so I'll take a robot apocalypse any day. Okay.
Yeah, like we might have a Zion somewhere if we have a robot apocalypse. There's no guarantee for that in the zombie apocalypse.
Right. Okay, last question. Would you rather detect every lie you hear or get away with every lie you tell? I want no parts of that.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to be a liar.
No one does, but
I don't want to be a liar. So I think I'd much rather be able to tell whenever a lie was told, as opposed to, getting away with every lie that I tell. So it's almost like mind reading if people will talk, it's like, I kind of know. I know.
Right. It's very like X-Man-ish, like,
yeah,
that you kind of pick up on things.
And I enjoy that. I think it would be a better communicative tool than being able to lie to everyone at all times. I don't know how much that would benefit, as I think that there's inherent value in truth. And being able to detect every lie, you could probably lead more people towards, a little bit more truth. It could be like, I think you weren't necessarily honest right there. Maybe we should try again, or maybe you don't have the tools, or maybe this is not a place where you want to be vulnerable. I think that being able to detect every lie would be much better than being able to get away with every lie.
Got it. Yeah, no, I agree. Less stress. Well, sort of. Depending on who you talk to, what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like if you get away with every lie, there's technically no stress other than what's on you. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, if only you know that you lie, but, people don't take too many things to the grave. They'll be on their deathbed like, I know nobody knows, but I have to come clean.
That's true.
Who wants that for a whole lifetime's worth of lies that you knew you were getting away with. I don't know.
A lot of people, Chip.
The bad ones. We'll see as the series goes on.
Like in every movie. That's who. Those people.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, that concludes Homebodies. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's good to meet up with someone else who enjoyed being at home a little bit, maybe a little bit too much.
Exactly. All right, dude. I'm gonna let you go. I'll talk to you later. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Bye.